Hello my fellow hunters, welcome to my new weapon showcase video. It is about time I show all my sets I have made for the current endgame. With Title Update 1 and Octempered Radar being added, I have adjusted a couple of builds that now use the new Zoshia and Mitsune equipment. When it comes to the end game, most of the sets will be similar since there isn't that much armor to work with, and most people will have access to these armor sets at this point. And we are still waiting on update 2 and see what the guy Chris brings. So let's jump right into the video and begin with the first set. The first set is Gunlance. And for this build, we use the best gunlance in the game, G Lawful Boars. This gunlance comes from Guardian Arkfeld, and it is currently the strongest gunlance in the game. The armor set I use is as follows: Numinous Crown Beta, Arkfalcon Male Beta, Ray Sandbraces, Gamma, Numinous Overlay Beta, Mitsune Greaves Beta, and the charm I use is Counter Charm 3. When it comes to the skills for the armor and weapons, Gunlance needs quite a bit. So for the weapon skills, we have got Artillery 3, which increases the damage of our shells, which is pretty important. And then we have Magazine Iron Wall Jewel 3, which gives us both load shells and guard. Load shells makes it much faster for us to reload shells. And guard is basically we take less damage when we're guarding, which is kinda mandatory for Gunlance. And then we got one shield jewel, which gives us guard up 1. Guard up makes it so we can block any strong attack or any super move. Without guard up, you can't really block those attacks, but with guard up 1 we can. But it is optional, it is up to you if you want to use this. But I personally use it because I don't play Gunlance that well, and I've only just recently started to practice it. As for the second weapon, that can just be ignored, I've not changed this yet. So when it comes to the armor skills, I went with Agitator 5, Witness Exploit 4, Counter Strike 3, Maximum Might 3, Burst 2, and Evade Extender 2. Recovery Speed and Coalescence are just part of the armor, but we do also have 2-piece Zoshia, which also gives us Super Recovery 1, which slowly recovers our health over time. So this Gunlance has -10 affinity, so I decided to slap in some Maximum Might just to give us some affinity because even though your shells don't crit, your normal poke attacks or your slams do. So I thought I'd just fire at them. But also, the other important skills are Counter Strike, which you all probably know is that the skill gives us 25 attack while it's active. So this is pretty much mandatory for most weapons because of the attack buff. And it is sometimes better than Agitator. Because Agitator only gives us 20 attack and 15 affinity when it's active or when the monster is enraged. But that's only going to be at least half the hunt. So Agitator won't be active as much, but with Counter Strike, each time you get knocked back or hit, it will become active. And if you're like me that gets hit a lot, then this skill is pretty good. As for the other skills, such as Evade Extender, this pretty much makes it easier for us to hop closer to the monster when we're guarding. Because obviously we're using a shield, so this helps us close the distance. And also avoid some attacks if needed. Witness Exploit is pretty much like it has always been in the previous games, except this time we get more affinity when we attack a wound. And since Gunlance loves attacking wounds, I decided to increase the level of Witness Exploit from level 1 to level 4, mainly because I've had these slots available. So at level 4 we'll be having 20% affinity and plus 15 more when we do a wound. So that's 35. And then the last skill is Burst. Gunlance was running level 5 at one point, but for this build I decided to knock him down to 2. Because you don't really get that much of a increase level 5, so I think level 2 is alright. I haven't tested this out yet, but this is gonna be a set that I will be using going forward for Gunlance anyway. This set can reach 60% affinity with all the skills active, and also if we're hitting a weak point or a wound. But this will be my go-to Gunlance set going forward, up until update 2 when we get new monsters. Also, I forgot to mention that for this Gunlance specifically, it has this shelling type wide and the power slightly strong. Wide shelling type is the best shelling type because obviously it shoots wide rather than normal or long distance, and the power is slightly strong, which I think is the best of its category. So this is like the best Gunlance in the game right now, and the Artian Gunlancers are not really good since they all have normal shelling. So if you want to play Gunlance, then you have to go for this one, which is the G Lawful Boars, which is only from Guardian Arkveld, which should be easy to make, to be fair. But yeah, this is going to be my main set for Gunlance, and let's move on to the next set. For GreatSword, I have made 2 sets, one for the Steelwork Lambrick, which comes from Arkveld, and the second set is for the Zoshia GreatSword. For the first set, the armor pieces are as follows: Grey Sandhelm Y, Numinous Shroud B, Guardian Arkveld Fan Braces, Numinous Overlay B, Guardian Rathalos Greaves B, and then the Counter Charm 3. For the weapon skills, we have got Razor Sharp 3 with Handicraft 1, Critical Duel 2, and Critical Duel 1, which gives us Critical Boost 3. Also, this GreatSword has got Focus built in, which is really good for this kind of weapon. The second weapon has the same decos, and also it is the Jin the Hard GreatSword. I mainly picked it because it's what I like the most. As for the other skills, we have got Weakness Exploit 5, Agitator 5, Counter Strike 3, Maximum Might 3, Divine Blessing 3, and the other 3 skills are just bonuses from the armors. So this is the GreatSword that I've been using the most, and I haven't made an Artian version because I really don't like Artian weapons, believe it or not, and I've not really looked up any meta builds for GreatSword, so this is just what I've been using. And the new addition to this set is the Ray Dow helmet, which gives us Weakness Exploit, Maximum Might, and Stamina Surge. The most important skills from the helmet is literally just Weakness Exploit and Maximum Might. Those are the skills that we wanted the most. This set can reach 75 affinity, especially if we are hitting wounds. But the best skills is Maximum Might and also Counter Strike. Maximum Might just gives us 30 affinity off the bat, which is pretty standard for most sets. And with Counter Strike, like I explained this in the Gunlance section, each time you get hit you get 25 attack, which is really good. And I've added Divine Blessing mainly because I have the slots, but it's good to take less damage when you're trying to do your true charges. But this is the setup I have for Arkveld's GreatSword, which also has the set bonus Super Recovery, which comes from the Zoshia pieces, so you'll be recovering small amounts of health over time. You can use this set if you want, if you don't want to make a Artian build, but if you want to have high damage, then scrap this GreatSword and make a Artian one. But it's totally up to you. As for the second set, for the Zoshia GreatSword, we have got G Rathalos Helm B, Arc Vulcan Mail B, Guardian Rathalos Fan Braces, Gore Coil B, Gore Greaves B, and then we have Convert Charm 2. So the decos are pretty much the same as the other GreatSword set, but with Zoshia we are a bit limited. So I went with Critical Duel 3 for Crit Boost 3, and then 2 decos for Razor Shot, which gives us level 3. This set is pretty much identical to the other Greatsword, except we have set bonuses for the Scorcher, 1, and Black Eclipse, which gives us 10 affinity when we recover from the Frenzy virus. The antivirus skill is actually mistranslated, as I learned earlier today, is that it is supposed to be 10 affinity if cured, not 15, which from what I've heard they still haven't fixed it. So this set will have about 95 affinity after recovering from the Frenzy virus, and if you have Maximum Might active. But the thing is with Switchaxe, this set is based around the skill called White Flame Torrent, which gives us additional damage after landing attacks. But this only affects dragon weapons, and it stacks with Scorcher. So when Scorcher is active, it actually increases the damage of White Flame Torrent, which is why we have to run the Guardian Wrath for those pieces. And the only new skill we have for this set is the Convert Element. Now, this set was originally on the Arkfeld armor, but now we've got a charm with Untitled Update 1. So what Convert Element does is when you take elemental damage, you gain a temporarily attack buff when you get hit by an elemental attack. Then it converts it into an explosion from White Flame Torrent, which procs about 200 dragon damage. So Convert Element is pretty much only useful on dragon matchups, which is a shame really, but you can use it for any matchup really, if you're using a raw version, which the Greatsword is. But it works extremely well against monsters weak to dragon, such as like Rathian, Rathalos and Switchaxe. So this is pretty much the set for Switchaxe. Most of the Switchaxe sets will always be like this, depending on the weapon. But this is what I could come up with for Greatsword anyway. And I have tested it against a Rathian and it hits really hard. So I think for dragon matchups, I think this will be the go-to Greatsword set. As for the second weapon, you can probably change this out for an Artian weapon, but that's if you want to go that route. Because Artian is still the best for Greatsword still, but I just haven't made one, and I don't have the time or patience to get perfect rolls on them, since I've used it for all my other weapons like my Switchaxes and stuff. But yeah, this is the set for the Switchaxe Greatsword, and let's move on to the next set. For my hammer set, I am using an Artian Poison Hammer with 4 attacks and 1 sharpness roll. The armor set is as follows: Numinous Crown B, Numinous Shroud B, Guardian Arkfeld Thumb Braces B, Welcome Coil B, the Hard Shard Grease B, and of course the Counter Charm 3. When it comes to the weapon decos, we use Critical Jewel 3 for critical boost, Venom Jewel 3 for poison attack, and then I also use Poison KO Jewel 3, which gives us Slugger 1 and Poison duration up. As for the skills for the armor, we have got Weakness Exploit 5, Agitator 5, Counter Strike 3, Maximum Might 3, Divine Blessing 3, Stun Resistance 3. And then for the bonus set that comes from the So Sheer pieces, we got Super Recovery 1. This set is pretty much my go-to for hammer, and the reason why we use Poison duration up is because it keeps the monster poison longer, and poison does a lot of damage over time. And also because we're also running Maximum Might, we are constantly hitting 100% affinity, but that's only when Maximum Might is active. This is the only hammer set I have made, and I managed to get a perfect roll on it on the upgrades for the Artian parts, and I haven't really had much issue with poison, since poison is really good. Maybe down the line I'll make a paralysis or a blast hammer if I get enough parts, but for the time being this set is my go-to for hammer. And unfortunately when it comes to hammer, the Artian hammer is still the best. So if you want a high damage, you have to make the Artian one. But you can use other ones. The hammer I have in the second slot is just there because it's just there. But it is the Jinder Hard hammer, because obviously I like the design of Jinder Hard's weapons. But for this update, this is pretty much my go-to set, and it might change in the future depending what we get in update 2, because obviously we're getting another Tempered monster and also Lagiacrus. So this is my set for hammer, and let's move on to the next set. For Charge Blade, I have made 2 sets. One for the Artian version, and the other one for So Sheer. The armor set for the Artian Charge Blade is as follows: Luminous Crown B, Luminous Shroud B, the Arkveld Foam Braces, Gore Coil B, Gore Greaves B, and the charm is Counter Charm 3. When it comes to the weapon skills, there is a lot we had to sacrifice compared to the previous games. Because Impact Charge Blade usually runs artillery, but since we are quite limited in this game, we had to settle for magazine attack, which gives us load shells and attack boost. Quick switch gives rapid morph, which is important because rapid morph gives us a 20% attack increase, and then just attack. So this set has attack boost 4, rapid morph 3, load shells 2, weakness exploit 5, agitator 3, counter strike 3, divine blessing 3, antivirus 3, maximum might 2, 1 burst. This Artisan Charge Blade is a blast variant which I made, and it has the perfect rules on it, which is sharpness +1, free attack, and 1 elemental boost. Since this is a blast charge blade, you'll be getting quite a lot of blast procs on the monsters. When it comes to charge blade, the files of your charge blade do not crit, but with attack boost it actually increases the damage, hence why we got attack boost 4. But all the crit that we have on the set is literally just for all the other moves. So all your sword moves, all your axe moves, and all your just general attacks do critical damage apart from the files. And this set, if all the skills are active, such as like agitator, maximum might, and antivirus, we'll be proccing about over 90 affinity. But that's if all the skills are active. We also got Soshia's set bonus, which heals us over time, which is like on most sets. The second set is the Soshia Charge Blade, and for this set it is similar to the Soshia GreatSword. So the set is G. Rathalos Helm, Arc Velcrum Mail, G. Rathalos Fan Braces, the Gore Coil, the Gore Greaves, and then the Covert Charm 2. As for the decos on the weapon, since we are limited on slots, I had to change a few things. So we have Rapid Morph 1 with Guard. Then we also have Iron Warrior 2 to get max Guard. And then we got 1 Shield Jewel for Guard Up. The Guard and Guard Up are optional. You can probably change this to attack if you want. But I just put it there because I just like guarding with Charge Blade, especially trying to get the counter point off. Or guard point even. So this set has Rapid Morph 3, Guard 3, Guard Up 1, White Flame Torrent, Witness Exploit 5, Counter Strike 3, Antivirus 3, Maximum Might 2, Convert Element 2, and 1 Burst. This set is pretty much similar to the GreatSword set, and since we are using Convert Element, we'll be taking elemental damage to convert it into dragon damage, which procs with White Flame Torrent. But pretty much all these Oshia sets are all going to be the same. It's the same gimmick across the board. You can try this out if you want to, but it is only going to be good against dragon matchups. So literally just the Wraths and Switchaxe. But since it is impact file, you can use it for any hunt. Since we are using impact files, we can get KOs if we land them on the monster's head. But this is just a gimmicky set, just like the GreatSword, and it can be fun, especially on Switchaxe, but I need to do some more testing with it. These two are the only sets I have made for Charge Blade so far. I've kind of lost patience of trying to roll perfect elemental Charge Blades, so for the time being I'm only using these two sets until I can get enough parts to make all 5 elements as well. So both of my sets are raw sets, and you can use them if you want to. Charge Blade in this game is much easier to handle than it was in World and Iceborne, but it's still a very good weapon. So these are my sets for the Charge Blade, and let's move on to the next set. For Longsword, I have made one set for the Artian Longsword and one for Switchaxe. The armor set for the Artian Longsword is as follows: Numinous Crown B, Numinous Shroud B, G Arkfeld Fan Braces, Gore Coil, Gore Greaves, and then the Counter Charm 3. When it comes to the armor and weapon skills, on the weapon I have slotted in 2 decorations for critical boost to give it level 5, and then 1 razor shop with handicraft. So the main skills for this set is Crit Boost 5, Razor Shop 3, Handicraft 1, Agitator 5, Counter Strike 3, Maximum Might 3, Antivirus 3, Quick Sheaths 3, Weakness Exploit 2, then Burst 1. This set can reach 70% affinity while Maximum Might is active, and when you recover from antivirus. The upgrades I have for the Longsword is Sharpness 2, 1 affinity, then 2 attack boost. This Artian Longsword is a paralysis longsword, and I'm not really that impressed with the upgrade, so I might have to remake this longsword, but for the time being it is really good, especially for tough monsters like Arkveld and Switchaxe. The second longsword set is for Switchaxe, and this set is drastically different from the previous Switchaxe sets, since this set runs 4 piece of Guardian Rathalos. So the skills are as follows: Crit Boost 3, Razor Shop 3, 1 Handicraft, Weakness Exploit 5, Counter Strike 3, Maximum Might 3, Quick Sheath 3, Agitator 2, and 1 Burst. The Switchaxe Longsword is arguably one of the best Switchaxe weapons, and it is one of the, if not the best, dragon weapon right now. This set doesn't use Gormagala, so we don't get our affinity from the Frenzy Virus, but this set can reach 90% affinity once Maximum Might is active. But obviously we use 4-piece Guardian Reuploads to get Scorcher 2, which increases our blast proc of White Flame Torrent. When White Flame Torrent becomes active, you do over 200 dragon damage. But like I said, for the other Soshia weapons, they are pretty much only good against dragon matchups, but you can use it outside of dragon matchups as well, because obviously Longsword is more raw skewed than elemental, and the Longsword is actually really good on Soshia, so you can give a set a try if you want. There might be different alternatives, but this is a set that I thought I could get the most skills out of it. These two sets are the only sets I have made for Longsword, and depending what we get down the line in future updates, I might make some elemental Longswords, but I just haven't had the time to actually get perfect raw elemental weapons. So for the time being, I'll be using just these two sets. So these are my sets for Longsword, and let's move on to the next set. For bow, I have made 5 elemental Artian sets, along with a set for the Soshia bow. First, we're going to go over the fire bow, and the upgraded skills that this bow has is attack 3 and 2 elemental boost. The set for bow is pretty much 2-piece Soshia, 2-piece Gormagala, and then Miztsune legs. The skills for this set is as follows: Crit boost 3, fire attack 3, detect red shot, spread power shots, witness exploit 5, constitution 3, agitator 3, stamina surge 3, antivirus 3, burst 2, and 1 of adrenaline rush. This set can reach over 70% affinity, while you also recover from the frenzy virus. And also, this set runs adrenaline rush because you get the adrenaline rush attack boost when you perfect evade, which is kind of busted on bow. Pairing that with the evasion mantle, you will also get more attack. So adrenaline rush and evasion mantle stack when you effectively evade, which for bow it is quite easy. This is pretty much a standard meta set for bow, and this bow has close range coating, so you have to be super close to the monster to get the most out of this bow. But with tracer arrows, it can be more manageable. But we also run the Tetrit shot, which increases our shots over time. And then there's the standard spread power shots, which increases the bow's power shots and quick shots, which makes bow very strong. But this bow is specifically for fire matchups. All my elemental bow sets are all pretty much the same. The only difference is for the water bow, because I don't have a textured stream jewel. I had to go with stream ballistics. Now with ballistics, it increases our range, which can be good since we're using close range, so we can like shoot from a further distance. But once I do get the textured jewel, I will be replacing with that when I eventually get it. But yeah, all my elemental sets are all the same. So 2p score, 2p Soshia, and Mitsune legs. And the rolls for this bow, I managed to get 4 attack and 1 element, which is considered a god roll, and I didn't get many on my other bows like this. So for the Soshia bow, I use the G Rathalos helm, a Falcon Mail, G Rathalos stone braces, the Gore Coil Alpha, the Gore Coil Greaves, and then the Convert Charm. Now this set is pretty much identical to the other Soshia sets, but since we are using the Soshia bow, we had to sacrifice some skills. So the best skills to put for this bow would be critical boost and spread. Spread power shots just increase our damage overall, and critical boost increases our damage when hitting a wound, which is really important for bow. The second bow on this set doesn't really matter that much because we're strictly using this one. So just like the other Soshia builds, this runs 2 levels of Convert Element, which gives us extra 200 damage to Dragon when it procs, when it is stacked with G Rathalos helm set bonus, which is Scorcher. When it comes to affinity on this build, it is roughly around about 65 affinity, but that's across all my bow sets. But they all are quite good, and since this is the Soshia one, this is only good against dragon matchups, so Rathian, Rathalos, Soshia, and Arkveld. Monster Hunter Wilds was the game where I tried out bow for the first time, because I never played bow in the previous games, and in Monster Hunter Wilds the bow has become one of my favourite weapons, and it is going to be a weapon that I'll be using going forward in multiple games. Since in World Iceborne I played quite a few weapons, and also played quite a few weapons in Sunbreak. But these sets could also change in the future, depending on the new monsters we get. So these are the sets I have made for bow. One for each element, and then one for Soshia. And now, let's move on to the next set. For dual blades, I have made 3 different sets. The first set is a standard meta set using 4-piece score, the Avocan Mail and the Chain Charm 2. For the elemental sets, the Artian Dual Blades are the best ones, mainly because of the level 3 slots they have, and they can outdamage most weapons with the right roll. So for my Artian sets, the skills are Crit Boost 3, Razor Sharp 3, Crit Element 1, Weakness Exploit 5, Constitution 3, Counter Strike 3, Antivirus 3, Burst 2, Coalescence 2, and 1 Marathon Runner. So the rolls for these 5 dual blades is 1 attack, 3 element, and 1 sharpness. Now when it comes to meta dual blades, it usually is 5 attack or 4 attack and 1 sharpness, but the rolls can be anything you want. But this is your typical dual blades meta set. Elemental sets are all the same, but they all have different rolls. Some of them have been quite lucky to get good rolls, some of them I haven't. Such as this Dragon one, for example. This Dragon one has got 3 element, 1 attack and 1 sharpness, which seems pretty decent, but you probably want more attack. Also, since Title Update 1, the Evasion Mantle got a buff, and for dual blades, Evasion Mantle is amazing, since we evade quite a lot, so we get a massive attack boost from Evasion Mantle. All my dual blade sets can reach 65 affinity after recovering from the Frenzy virus, but like I said, this is pretty much a standard meta dual blade set, but you can use other pieces if you want. The second set is the Soshia dual blades. So for this set, we use Guardian Rathalos Helm, the Gore Mail, Guardian Rathalos Fan Braces, the Gore Coil Alpha, and then the Missitsune Greaves, along with the Convert Charm. So the skills for this set is Crit Boost 5, Razor Sharp 1, Weakness Exploit 5, Counter Strike 3, Antivirus 3, Burst 2, Convert Element 2, Marathon Runner 2, and Constitution 2. So this is pretty much the same Soshia set as the other weapons, except this also uses 2-piece Gore set bonus, so we get the Frenzy virus, and then 2 pieces of Rathalos for Scorcher 1, which increases our damage of White Flame Torrent, which is going to be our main source of damage. This set is very strong for dragon matchups, but it can also be used on any monster if you want to test it. But this is a good alternative if you don't want to run Artian weapons. And now for the third set. This set uses 3-piece of Octempered Braid Owl and 2-piece Gore Magala. So for this set, we use an Artian Ice Dual Blades that has 3 elemental boost, 1 sharpness and 1 attack. So the skills for this set is Crit Boost 3, Ice Attack 3, Razor Sharp 3, Critical Element 1, Latent Power 5, Counter Strike 3, Antivirus 3, Weakness Exploit 2, Constitution 2, Burst 2, Marathon Runner 2, Evade Extender 2, and the other skills are just bonuses from the armor that we don't really care about. But we've got a couple of set bonus skills that we are interested in. Since we are using 3-piece Radar, we gain access to Lord Soul, which is Guts Tenacity. It boosts attack, but it lowers defense, but it lets you survive one lethal hit. So basically, you can survive one shot. For example, Radar's cannon. And after you survive it, you gain boosted defense and resistances. But the main thing is this gives us more attack when this is active. The only downside is it lowers the defense. So it is kind of similar to Mail of Hellfire from Sunbreak, except it's just an attack buff. So this set can also reach 65% affinity after you proc Latent Power. Now with Latent Power, you have to try and trigger it as soon as you can in the hunt to get 50% affinity. This can be done by either evading a monster or taking some certain damage. But this set in particular is designed to take on Oct-Tempered Radar. So these are the 3 sets that I have made for Dual Blades. And now it's time we move on to the final set. It's now time to show you my sets for my main weapon in Monster Hunter Wilds. Switchaxe. We begin with the 5 elemental sets I have made. So the armor sets for my elemental sets are as follows: the Gore Helm Beta, Arc Falcon Male Beta, Guardian Arkfeld Fanbraces Beta, Arc Falcon Coil Beta, the Gore Greaves Beta, and then the Counter Charm 3. So when it comes to the skills for Switchaxe, there's a lot you can choose from, but the ones I have picked for this one is Razor Sharp, Quick Switch, and Focus. All 3 of these decorations have Frost Attack attached to it, since this is an Ice Switchaxe. So the main skills for this set is Ice Attack 3, Razor Sharp 3, Focus 3, Rapid Morph 3, Weakness Exploit 5, Counter Strike 3, Divine Blessing 3, Recovery Up 3, Antivirus 3, Burst 2, Evade Extender 2. These are the main skills for this Switchaxe, and the reason why we've gone for Focus is because Focus actually helps us get the fire gauge much quicker in Wilds. And then we got Rapid Morph, which increases our speed by 30%, and it also increases our morph attacks by 20%. We also use Evade Extender, just like in Sunbreak and in World and Iceborne. Evade Extender is really good when you're doing the sidestep. The upgrades for this Artian weapon, this one has 1 sharpness, 2 elemental boost, and 2 attack boost. This is fairly decent for an elemental Switchaxe, but if you really wanted to, you could aim for a sharpness and 4 attack. So all my sets for Ice, Water, Fire, Thunder and Dragon, they all have the same setup and the same decorations across the board, but each one have different reinforcement bonuses. This one is for the Fire one, and it has 3 attack, 1 sharpness and 1 elemental boost. For the Thunder Switchaxe, the reinforcement bonus is 1 sharpness, 2 element and 2 attack. For the Water Switchaxe, it has elemental boost, 3 attack boost and 1 sharpness. And then for the Dragon Switchaxe, it has got 2 elemental boost, 2 attack boost and 1 sharpness. All my elemental sets are pretty much the same, so if you want to try out Switchaxe for the first time, you can make this set because it's still really good. Now this is my next set for the Power File Switchaxe. This Switchaxe is a Paralysis Artian Switchaxe. So the armor set is slightly different than my elemental sets. So for the Power File, we use 2 pieces of Soshia, 1 Guardian Arkveld, 2-piece Score, and then the Counter Charm 3. So the skills for this Switchaxe is Paralysis Attack 3, Razor Shock 3, Rapid Morph 3, 2 Handicraft, 5 Weakness Exploit, 3 Agitator, 3 Counter Strike, 3 Recovery Up, Antivirus 3, Evade Extender 2, and 1 Burst. The upgrades for this Switchaxe has got 4 attack boost and 1 sharpness. This is pretty much my only Power File Artian Switchaxe that I use, and it works really well on everything. And the reason why we got 2 Handicraft is because we want as much wire sharpness as possible, because Switchaxe eats through it quite quickly, even with Razor Sharp. And then we have Quick Switch for the extra attack, and pretty much this set and my elemental sets, they all can reach about 65 affinity after recovering from the Frenzy virus. But these sets have been pretty much my go-to for this update, and I really like them a lot. The next set is the Soshia set. So since we are using the Soshia Switchaxe, we are using 2-piece Guardian Rathalos and also Arkveld's chest piece along with 2-piece Score. And since we're using Soshia, we are using the Convert Charm 2. So for this set, we have got Razor Sharp 3, Rapid Morph 3, 1 Handicraft, White Flame Torrent, Weakness Exploit 5, Counter Strike 3, Antivirus 3, Convert Element 2, Evade Extender 2, and 1 Burst. Since we're using Convert Element, this Switchaxe is only good for dragon matchups. And I have tested this on monsters and it's quite strong. Especially when you get the proc for White Flame Torrent. Since this is paired with the Scorcher skill, we are proccing about 200 damage of dragon. But this set is pretty much similar to all the rest of the sets. So most of them are not really that much different. But I have noticed that this is one of the better power file Switchaxe sets. But like I said, it's only good against dragon. So if you want to test this out, you can. But I would suggest just testing it out on the Rathian or Rathalos first. Or even just Soshia really. This is my new Switchaxe set. Since Octempered Raidal has just came out. And the Switchaxe we are using for this set is the same Artian weapon that we use for the Power File set. So for this set, we have got the Ray Sunhelm Y, Numinous Shroud B, Ray Sandbraces Y, Numinous Overlay B, Ray Sandgreaves Y, and then we have the Exploiter Charmer 2. So the skills for this set is Paralysis Attack 3, Razor Shot 3, Rapid Morph 3, Handicraft 2, Weakness Exploit 5, Agitator 5, Stun Resistance 3, Stamina Surge 3, Burst 2, Maximum Might 2, Evade Extender 2, Coalescence 1, and as for the armor bonuses, we've got Thunderous Roar 1, Super Recovery 1, and then we got Lord Soul, or God's Tenacity. God's Tenacity is the 3-piece bonus of Raidal, and it is really good, but it's really gimmicky because it boosts your attack but it lowers your defense unless you survive a one shot, and once you survive a one shot it boosts your defense and resistances. So this set can be really strong on most fights as long as you survive the lethal hit, but after that you have to avoid them. But this is the best I could do with 3-piece Raidal. Like, this isn't the latent power set like I have with Dual Blades, and since we're not using latent power, I had to go with other skills such as Maximum Might, Burst, and Agitator. So for this Switchaxe, it can reach a total of 90% affinity when Maximum Might is active. And this set is actually very strong. But for this set, you pretty much need an Artian weapon to get the most skills. But you can use any weapon you want if you don't like an Artian. Like, you could probably just slap in Soshia's Switchaxe into this, or just any power file Switchaxe, or any really. This set is quite flexible when it comes to its weapon, but I think this set will be a standard going forward for most weapons. Only time will tell once we get new monsters. But I think going forward though, all the Octempered pieces will go towards God's Tenacity. So I think most builds will be resolving around that, because the next Octempered will be Octempered Uvduna, so that will most likely have the same skill, but only time will tell. As for the Raidal pieces, each piece is very good. Like the legs, the arms, and the head are arguably the best pieces of the set, but each part is usable. So I suggest just messing around with it and just seeing what you like. But this is a set that I could come up with, and it's been working really well. So these are the sets I have made for Switchaxe, and they all can pretty much handle the end game no problem. Like, Switchaxe is not as hard to learn as it was in the previous games, and is arguably one of the best weapons in the game, hence why it's now my main again, since I've made main Switchaxe in so many games now. But Switchaxe is still better in Sunbreak. But Wild Switchaxe is probably my second favourite. So these are the sets I am using for the end game of Monster Hunter Wilds, and will most likely change when we get future updates. Feel free to use these sets if you wish. And if you enjoyed the video, give it a like and subscribe for more Monster Hunter content. This video has gone on for long enough, so I'll catch you guys at the next video. Thank you all for watching, and of course, happy hunting!